one's cat.
Daddy, is church all right?
Why, Judd?
I have my reasons.
I dreamed he got hit by a car and you and Mr. Crandall buried him in the Pet Sematary.
What did we do tonight, Judd?
Guys, welcome to another episode of Katie Afraidy on the Fangoria Network. I'm your host, Katie Hettenbach, and I am so excited to have this person on. He's hilarious. He's wonderful. It's Kevin Christy.
Hi. Fangoria. I've owned a lot of Fangorias.
Okay.
Well, as a kid, when you're young in the 80s, if you wanted to see, ladies in bikinis, Fangoria was like one you could pick up at the bookstore and not feel like a pervert.
So Fangoria was how you introed into.
There was like magazines. Okay, if you're under 18 and you can't buy like a Playboy or whatever.
That's true.
There was like Easy Rider magazine that was like motorcycles, and then Fangoria too.
Okay.
Had like women that weren't fully clothed in it. So you could like, if you're 14 and you want to like see a partially clothed woman, Fangoria was like an easy...
Except she's like also like covered in blood.
Yeah, it's like, I'm into horror movies. It's like, okay.
Yeah, sure you are.
Yeah. 80s horror movies were mostly just softcore pornography.
This is true.
Wrapped around a loose plot that involved murder.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there.
That's why so many of them are fun to watch now. You watch them now, you're like, what the fuck? They're kind of not scary. Like Pet Semetary was not that scary. Whereas when I was a kid...
Terrifying.
Fuck. Like I said, I was like, I have to watch Pet Semetary, and my girlfriend was like, not when I'm home. Like, do not.
Don't do that.
She was, and it's all, I mean, we'll get into it, but it's all the sister. The sister with the spinal thing is what everyone... But yeah. But when I saw it as a kid, I was like, this is so terrifying.
Yeah.
And now it's like quaint.
It wasn't that bad. Also, I have to say this because I see your commercial all the fucking time.
Sure.
And I just think it's funny. And I'm like, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's Kevin.
The idea that someone would marry that guy and have children with him.
Kids look way too old for it. Like, you guys are young. The kids look too old. It's like,
that was the first time I've really worked. I think I've worked with a child. Like, I've been a dad like maybe one other time.
Yeah.
But yeah, working with children is really interesting. Because at one point, one of the kids just started directing everybody. And like, you can't, and it's not that they're not making valid points, but also they're not the director, but you can't be like, hey, shut the fuck up, like, because it's a kid. So you're just like taking their notes you're taking notes from like a 6-year-old, like,
Great.
Oh, that's where you think I should put my hand? Okay, well, let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot, guys.
Hey, little buddy, let's give that a shot.
Let's roll.
Yeah,
let's roll right now.
Put it in the hopper and see how it goes.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Because it sticks in the brain.
Yeah, look, that's my goal. That's my goal.
That's my goal. So we watched Pet Sematary, like you said. What?
Your notes are on a phone? Cool.
My notes are on a phone.
I printed mine out.
I usually have an actual like notebook, but it doesn't. I've always felt weird when it like doesn't fit.
Look, Generation X, we're pretty attached to our Epsons, so we're not if we can justify the use of it at any point.
A printer too. I don't own a printer. Well, here I can.
It's like, I think, is owning a printer like having a fax machine at this point?
That's, at this point, yes.
Once
1989.
Once a year you have to fax something, and you're like, I used to have this.
I've never had to fax anything, and I don't think I would know how to fax.
One day you're going to buy something like a property, like a condo, and you're going to, for some reason, fax. You have to fax a thing to somebody always.
Why?
I don't know.
It doesn't make, like...
Because it has to go to a notary, and notaries still have fax machines. When I have to fax something, I have to go to a notary in Los Feliz next to the skate shop I go to. And this notary used to be Walt Disney's first animation studio. And they fax something for me.
Wow.
It's pretty weird. You know where there's plenty of parking? New England, where Pet Sematary takes place.
Exactly. I was just going to get there. You read my mind. This movie's fucking nuts, though. The only thing I remembered it, and I talk about it all the time, is the Achilles scene. But
dude,
also,
same. Because when that happened, I was like, oh, is this both Achilles' mouth corner? And it was like, yeah, that's where I got that from. That's the memory of the movie to me.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it didn't even register that that's Herman Munster.
No.
I was just like, old man.
Old man, R.I.P. Your Achilles. You're getting ambushed by a 2-year-old. Which, also,
did this movie predate Chucky? The first Chucky?
I think it did. Let's check.
Because if it did,
Let's check.
I think we know where Chucky came from. Because that kid running around the house with scalpel. It's weird. I thought the kid was cuter once it was possessed.
Oh, it's living with it's Child's Play. I always type in Chucky. I'm like, why can't I find it?
Yeah,
Child's
it's
Play.
called Chucky, even though it's
I know
Child's
it's
Play,
Child's
but
Play.
it's
I always
definitely called
forget.
Chucky.
Child's Play is not showing up. Why aren't you showing up? 88.
Oh, wow.
1 year prior. So this is probably and also Stephen King wrote
But the
it.
novel,
This
when
is
the novel probably came out
before.
there's no way a novel doesn't come out and the movie's done.
Yeah.
I would say the minute you see based on a novel by Stephen King in a movie, you're like, okay, this is going to be gross.
It's gonna be weird.
Weird, gross, kind of campy.
Yeah.
But there's something about him to where his horror stuff still feels kind of childlike.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's idea then written by a really smart person.
Yeah.
It's like, what if you could just take your cat and bury it and it would come back to life? Like it's a 9-year-old's idea.
Yeah.
Which
is great.
Yeah.
Which also, I don't know if you caught, he's actually in the movie.
Oh, the pastor.
Yeah.
Clearly
I
not Catholic.
I love that he cameos in his movies. Just
Him and
randomly.
Peter Jackson just have to shove themselves in every dumb thing.
You know what?
David
I
Lynch
would
put
do
himself in Twin Peaks.
I'd do the same thing too.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's super fun.
You give yourself some weird character that has like 3 lines, then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to doing what I do. So
I wrote down great
Oh.
set design in the cemetery.
great.
But the headstones are ridiculous.
they are.
Based on what is it? There's one of them. One dog was named Biffer.
Biffer. Hey, come here, Biffer. At
It
that
said
point,
Biffer, one hell of a sniffer, which are like, look, you thought of one hell of a sniffer clearly first, and then you're like, what's a dog's name that rhymes with this bullshit?
Biffer.
Biffer. There's no dog named Biffer in the world. That's not a thing.
So I have to tell you something.
Okay.
I have a dog named
No, you don't.
Biffer.
You don't have a dog named Biffer.
You need to know you fucking don't.
No, you don't.
You're a liar.
You could have had a dog named Biff,
Biff. Yeah, that would
but
be
it wasn't named Biffer.
Biffer.
That's
I feel
not
like
a thing.
if you did have a dog named Biff, you would call it like, "Oh, come here, Biffer."
Yeah.
Hey, Biffy.
That
You'd,
doesn't.
like,
Yeah.
You'd say it like as like a nickname.
As I'm thinking about it now, all the tombstones feel like the tombstones on the Haunted Mansion ride.
Yeah.
They're all play on words.
Wow.
Yeah. I was slightly. I loved the way the cemetery looked, but there was all those close-ups of the headstone of the actual graves. I was like, oh, these are built kind of shit. I was like, did you love this pet? Like they were kind of like
Yeah.
little. And when I think of Maine, I think of people, or I don't mean it's Maine, but like New England, I think of people who can like make things well. You think of like wood craftsmanship and stonework, and I was like, some of these are not that.
You're like, you expected more from New England, you know? Fair enough.
Also, I thought when I watching this thing, I was just like, New England's just fancier inbreds. Does that make sense? Like everyone there's the exact same type of person. Maybe they're
Yeah.
not in the same. They're all obsessed with lineage.
Yeah.
New Englanders are obsessed with lineage.
Okay.
Were you like a Mayflower family? Like they're obsessed with if your family was one of the early American those like people that came over from England.
Yeah.
They're all about it. So even though maybe you weren't like in the same family, they're all the same type of person. They're just
Yeah.
like a European like wasp, and they only mate with each other, and the accent just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Like I performed in Maine. It was terrible. They hated us. Like, and it was all just the whitest. Like, there's a level of whiteness. There's regular white people, and then there's New England.
Okay.
And not even like Boston. I'm talking like you have to go into the countryside,
Mhm.
New England. Those people are a kind of white where you're like, this is not good for you. Like, this isn't. You can't. Like, the
This isn't
food is
healthy.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
They're all, and the alcoholism is insane.
I mean, I'm from the
Yeah, you're
drunkest
from
state,
you're from
so,
Wisconsin.
You know,
Wisconsin's wild.
it's pretty great.
The behavior there. I had to go to Green Bay once to do a commercial.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's so fun.
The eating that's going on there is incredible.
It's they have some insane food, but it's good food. It's just like
They're not
can't-
trying to live long there.
No.
They're
we,
like,
we wanna live fast.
Late
Yeah, yeah.
50s.
Late 50s. Hey, if I can hit 40, I'll be happy.
They're like, hey, he's 58, lived a good life. You're like,
Dude.
no.
You're like, that's not.
You have easy 20 years left, buddy.
That's not good. That's not good. You should live a lot longer.
I think the mom was on Melrose Place.
The mom.
Yeah, the mom for Pet Sematary. I'm pretty sure she was on Melrose Place.
Okay.
The original Melrose Place.
Okay.
But that's such an 80s haircut for an actress.
Yeah.
I loved her clothes too.
They were great. Everything about the movie was great. I didn't realize. So again, I watched this, like, I went to the store last night and then I was like, I need to go home and watch this movie. So I was like, up, like, this movie is really long. Also, it's almost
an hour 42.
Okay, but like when you're watching it at like
Well, yeah,
11,
I watched it
at
during the
night,
day.
and I was like, I'm already exhausted. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
this. Really, but also there not a lot happens till like 40 minutes or like no, about an hour in.
It's really like, hey, welcome to your new town for a while.
Yeah.
And then
like, hey, here's these trucks that keep going by.
Can no one build a fence? There's wood everywhere.
Build a fence.
Yeah.
Hey, child leash.
The
I've never
main
been
problem. Why is that baby never in pants?
Put that baby in
so
some
gross.
goddamn pants.
It's just raw diapering it. It's wearing a shirt.
Like, at least give it some pants. Like,
Herman Munster has to save the baby like right away. Like,
Which-
baby almost gets hit by a truck right in the beginning
Like,
of the
right
movie.
away, yeah.
Right away. To where like, well, you got to neuter that cat. You also got to put up a fence, dude.
yeah.
Like a fence in the 80s at that. Also, okay.
You're worried about the cat?
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
He's beautiful. Objectively,
Oh, yeah.
he's incredibly
He's
handsome.
stunning.
Why did he get kicked out of Chicago? Why did he leave Chicago? And why does her dad hate him?
That's what I wrote. I was like, why?
What dad hates a doctor? Your
daughter
married a doctor.
and had a kid. Like, she's fine.
Yeah.
They have a nice ass house.
So what?
They're fine.
And Chicago's not like New York where it's like, oh, you can't live there, it's too expensive. You
Yeah.
can figure out Chicago, especially if you're a fucking doctor.
Yeah. He was kicked out of all of Chicago?
All of Chicago.
All of Chicago. They said,
lot of suburbs.
get out of here.
There's just as many suburban areas
They
that look
said,
like New England
"Get out."
outside of Chicago.
You're not welcome.
Yeah,
You're a
so
doctor.
what did he do?
Why did he?
And look, and as soon as that one dude, the first dead guy, gets
Yeah.
hit by the truck, he comes in alive. He's still alive.
Yeah.
He comes in, they're like, and he says, he's like, we need a cardiac, whatever the fuck. And then the next scene, he's immediately dead. And
Yeah.
He's just closing his eyes. There's also way too many candy stripers in the room.
Yeah.
Like, they're bringing in a dead guy. A candy striper is not a trained nurse. They're just like an assistant. There's like 10 of them, and they're all in the room at the same time.
You're like, that's not, I don't think that's how that works.
There's no way that's the procedure. There's no way they're like, yeah, get the 15-year-old girls all in here at the same time to help.
Yeah.
They
like,
don't know how to do
They
stuff.
don't. They're 15.
They're just pouring. They're bringing ice chips to invalids and stuff. Like, that's not a real job. So why are they in the operating room?
Get them out of here because they're really short staffed that day. They're really short staffed.
He doesn't have a successful patient interaction in this entire movie.
No.
The only way he saves people is through voodoo, which he buys into.
Immediately. He's like, well, the cat. Let me just. And then, what was the Munster dude's actual name?
His name is Herman Munster, and it will be for the entirety of this podcast.
Herman. He
Was his name Judd? I feel like
it is Judd.
Yeah, Judd.
It is Judd. Exactly, Judd. So Judd, thank you. He where'd the words go? No, Judd. Where the fuck did Judd? No, because he was taking the dad down. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you to the cemetery.
You gotta check. Hey, glad to meet you. You gotta check out the cemetery.
We're gonna go through just all this brush and just climb over
so much brush.
And I was like, and then the dad like
eats it
down the hill, and he's like, I'm good. And it's like, no, you're not.
He eats it hard, and it looked like he did that stunt.
Yeah.
Like, he biffs, dude. Full flip.
He's a full biffer.
Yeah,
if you
he
will.
fully eats shit hard, and he's just like, we're good. Let's keep going to the dead animal hole.
It's like, no, bro, give yourself a second.
Take a minute. You're over 30.
You fell down a hill with a lot of sticks. Something's definitely bruised, maybe broken. You definitely pulled a lot of things.
Yeah.
Let's take a second. Do you need an Advil? Let's sit down.
Dude.
Need some water?
Full biff.
Hey, guess what? It's going to still be there in 5 minutes, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and like,
just burial ground.
Herman Munster's hella creepy in the cemetery. You guys got to see the cemetery. And the wife's like, what the fuck? And then he's nice, and everyone's like, okay. But it made me realize when you're new in town, it's like being new at school. You'll take any friend.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be friends with the first person that talks to you, no matter how weird they are.
Yeah.
And I found myself, because I hadn't seen the movie in so long, I was like, Oh, he definitely put his dead wife in the weird cemetery and then had to murder her again.
Yeah.
That's why he's like, don't do this, but I'll go with you. Like, it's a weird, his stance on it's a little weird.
Yeah. It's also, I love that, the wife keeps having to go to, was it Chicago?
Yeah.
To go with her
With
daughter,
the daughter.
and her daughter goes up to the dad. She's like, Dad, I had a terrible dream that Church the cat died and you and the weird neighbor buried him in the backyard. And he's like, what a weird dream you're having, kid. It's like, no, your kid's psychic, I think.
Yeah, why not just keep putting the kid to bed so she'll tell you what not to do?
Yeah, he's like, nah, you're just a fucking kid. I can't listen to you.
It's a weird because the cat thing makes sense. You're like, yeah, you got to roll the dice with the cat.
Yeah.
But the baby one doesn't.
You're like,
I mean, grief is gnarly, but how do you explain it?
But also, okay.
Also, this is not important. His red hat doesn't fit him. The red Pendleton wool hat. It
doesn't fit him.
It's too big for his head. Okay. And you're kind of like, hey, wardrobe. I know you were super excited about the New England Pendleton hat, but he's from Chicago. You could have just put a Cubs hat on him.
Would have been easier.
And that hat is too big for him. And he's got the salad on that guy. Why would you cover that head of hair?
Keep it. The salad, is that what you?
I don't know why I got that, but I've always called that when a guy's got a great head of hair.
The salad?
The salad.
I love that. I've never heard that.
I got it from my friend John Brownson, I think.
John Brownson. Thank you for that.
Yeah, he's great.
That's right.
But yeah, the hat's a little silly.
Okay, a little silly.
Because I love a New England movie because I love the clothing.
Yeah.
I love Wasp clothes. I love an LL Bean catalog.
Oh, yeah.
So I love the clothes and that dumb. Oh, we forgot to mention when the random lady just hangs herself because her stomach hurts. It'll be fine. 2 days later, no, it won't.
Tummy aches be like that. You ever just want to, you ever just like, I guess this is it. Let me just.
IBS. She literally is just like, I'm out, bro. The pain is too much.
I'm gonna end it all. So obviously, the whole movie, they're like foreshadowing, like, hey, there's this, semi gonna come hit the baby.
Truck.
Okay, what the logic here? Okay, the baby, it gets hit by a semi. Obviously, we know the baby was never near the semi. It was like mere tricks.
Super fast baby.
Super
apparently.
fast baby. But let's also say this.
It's like the baby ate a mushroom on Mario Brothers and
it's
just could haul ass. Yeah, fully.
But if they put the baby, so the cat just like died, like or the cat got hit by a car.
Cat hit by a truck.
Hit by a truck. Okay, so they put the cat back. Whatever.
Cat alive, face scratch.
Yeah, the baby, if it got hit by the semi, would explode. Explode.
Like a watermelon that was spring loaded.
Like so, there's like not much to put underground. So does the underground also
mend you? Wolverine style.
Or would you come out like that?
Yeah, like just.
And they're like, what the fuck is that?
There's no part of a truck going that fast. If the kid hit the side view mirror, it would be put in a blender.
It's a baby. It's a 2-year-old. Like, yeah, you could.
Yeah, I mean, you can put a baby's leg behind. Like the tendons aren't tight. That baby would explode. It'd be like when you rip apart a He-Man character or a G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that baby's limbs should have been like the fact that the baby's head wasn't smashed. Like, so clearly that cemetery is so powerful. It mends you also.
Can I be buried in it alive and come back better?
When they show when he's telling the story, when Herman Munster's telling the story about like, the guy took his son there and the son just like immediately started to bite everybody and eat things and stab everybody. I was like, you didn't need to burn the whole house down. That tells you how cheap real estate was in New England.
They're like, we're just gonna burn the whole house.
Yeah,
we don't need it. It's like, no, kill the baby and then burn the baby. I don't know, burn. I don't know, but he's burn the house down. Because then also his wife is. He's like, oh, my wife is dead because the baby kills the wife because she's like, Gage, which also his name's Gage.
Gage.
That's a weird, like to look at a baby and go, Gage.
Cat named Church after Winston Churchill with no explanation. Love
that. Great. And then Gage, kills his
Gage.
mom. Kills his mom.
Was it? It's like that's a name you hear now and you're like, oh fuck yourself.
I'm like, I think I knew like one kid named Gage, and he like was like we didn't associate with him.
Dead dog named Biffer.
A
kid named Cage. Cat named Church. What? I don't even know the parents' names.
Let's find out.
What were their names?
What do we think? Lewis and Rachel.
They look like the mean couple from like a John Hughes movie. They have that vibe.
That's pretty good.
They're like making the Griswolds' life harder by being. They're like the yuppies. They're so good looking. Those two. I mean, both of them went on to work quite a bit in the 90s.
They're like not. They're like, wow, okay, I understand why you guys married each other and like why you guys are.
But again, the dad who also was an 80s movie staple.
Okay.
Like if in an 80s movie a character went to get a loan at a bank, the guy who played the dad was the guy at the bank. He was constantly telling people like, "No, I can't approve your loan."
Like we're done. Get out of here.
He had a tidy little career for a long time. I love. I mean, great. But he kicks his ass at the funeral.
I was like, what?
That was a full blown brawl at this fucking funeral. And I wrote down, I was like, man, I'm sure in the moment it was terrible, but I would have loved to have been there.
I would have been like, shit, this sucks.
Dude, I went to a baby's funeral. It was wild.
Dude, they had a fight. That was fucking epic. That's amazing. I also, one of my favorite lines is, I want to play with you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I say it all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's from this. Duh. Also, going back to, the Achilles slash with the, one of my favorite moments.
Whenever I eat a tortilla chip, like a big one, when you have a big one and it hits the corners and you're like, I'm going to feel that for a day. I think of this. I think of Pet Sematary. I think, is it the only movie where someone cuts the... I think
something else. I think probably somewhere else, but I can't name it off the top of my head.
I feel like maybe it was like a Tales from the Crypt or something.
Yeah.
But it's someone screams and they go right across the corners of the mouth. But the fact that because I remember the Achilles and I remember the mouth, but I thought they were from separate movies.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Ooh.
Brutal.
It hurts.
The under the bed Achilles slash.
Like my nightmare.
By the way, that's 2 years of recovery.
Yeah. At least. Also, this 2-year-old's so smart that he does both. And I'm like, you're a what? At least 6 foot tall man. You're being taken down. Kick him. Kick the baby in the head.
I did find myself being like, in a normal house with normal furniture, a baby's hard to find. Like that little dude's got a lot of places to hide in the dark. If you have no idea where your new zombie baby is,
yeah,
you have this new psychotic. It's going to be trouble.
Yeah,
you're like, but I gotta try. We have a new zombie psychotic baby, and you're in a normal house. You're like, fuck, this thing can hide anywhere,
but
in a drawer, like under all the sheets. Like in all the closets. Yeah, literally, like it could wedge itself like in a stair. Like your ankles are open season.
Yeah.
Fuck. So scary.
But again, you could kick the baby. You could do a lot of things.
But you gotta burn it.
He said, ankle. Oh, I guess I have to scream because there's a baby with a scalpel running at me. And then my favorite part, which is just so random, is just Gage going into his neck and just taking a little bite. He's
why?
Just taking a little nibble. He's it's so funny.
The thing that's great about movies before there was the internet is there was no place for people to complain or have a discourse. Like there was you couldn't be like, so the baby's a zombie, they don't explain. Like there was no Reddit.
Yeah.
So people would be like, I don't know. It was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I liked it. So I guess I don't care.
Yeah.
That the baby also eats you.
You're like, I guess he takes a little nibble.
Hungry baby.
He's a hungry baby.
Did it have all its teeth?
Yeah. I think the 2-year-old did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, punt the kid. I would punt the kid immediately. I'd see it and go, let me just do a little soccer kick.
Yeah, if you've ever dealt
quick.
with an unruly dog, like it's the same.
It's on accident. I don't have a dog, but I have a pet rabbit. And he will oftentimes run at my feet as I'm walking, and I will accidentally like punt him across the room.
Rabbit.
I feel really bad.
Do you watch Great British Bake Off?
No.
There was a season they had a vet on. She said the funniest thing. They go, "What's your least favorite animal to work on?" She goes, "Ugh, rabbits. They just want to die."
He literally eats the walls.
Yeah.
He's
only, according to this vet, she's like, they only want to die.
They literally he eats cords. He eats like
they never warm up to you. My stepsister has rabbits. They just cage and run. They just scurry and they live in a cage. Okay. Does your rabbit ever sit on your lap?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
He sits on my lap all the time.
What's your rabbit's name? Biffy? Biffer?
No, it's Eddie. after the serial killer Ed Gein,
Oh yeah.
because I got him in Wisconsin, and all of the rabbits were named after serial killers.
I
I
auditioned
thought it
to
was
be
funny.
BTK for Mindhunter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't look. They really did a good job of getting people that look like the people. All I had was the glasses and like the mannerisms. But like when you see the Ed, is it Ed Gein wasn't the tall one? That's Ed Kemper. Oh no,
I
Ed
think
Gein
so.
is the super tall one.
I don't know. I don't know how tall. I don't know his height.
He was giant. Did
Was
you
he?
watch Mindhunter?
No.
Really?
No.
It's great.
Okay.
Mindhunter's great.
Mindhunter. After I'm done binging all these episodes,
Yeah.
when I can actually like enjoy
Mindhunter's
what I'm watching,
fantastic.
I'll watch Mindhunter.
It's really good. The
Okay.
people are begging for it to come back.
Okay.
But it never will because it costs too much money.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. David Fincher though.
We love David.
Once Baby comes back, I have to say I really loved when Wife came back with one eye.
He said, "Hey, your dead wife. Let me. You know what? I know what
How
happened.
did she die?
Gage killed her.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's
Hold on.
like, Gage, and he's like, Mommy, I have something for you.
Oh yeah. How does he? Did you just stab her?
Yeah. And I was like, what did you see your baby's got a freaking knife. Like, what do you
Was
think?
it still the scalpel at that point?
Yeah, it's a scalpel. And I was
Yeah.
like, first of all, baby with a scalpel.
Why do you have a home scalpel?
'Cause he's a doctor.
This guy's a shitty.
He's
I
a
think
doctor.
what we learned from Pet Sematary is things that come back to life. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Maybe dead's better. Great catchphrase.
Ugh.
Dead is sometimes better.
But
Was
also,
that it?
sometimes dad is better. But the thing is, during that, when he says it, I was watching this late last night.
Yeah.
He says it like 5 times in the span of
Sometimes.
like
Dead is better.
maybe in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had to keep rewinding because I thought I was hallucinating. And I was like, okay, I know I'm tired, but like, why does he keep repeating the same things?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I watched this 15 times. He just repeats it. Got it. I'm just an idiot. Cool.
But if we're being honest, Herman Munster's the best performance in the movie.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Hands
I mean,
down.
besides the kid.
The kid was very like once the kid's evil, I was like, that's pretty good acting.
For he said,
He's under 3.
like that's
So they're like, do a growl. He nails it. Grr. You're like, and his eyes are like wide open.
yeah.
Did he go on to do it?
I think he did. I think he went on to do a bunch of stuff. He I also
Oh, remember when the ghost face just pops out of the quarry? What the fuck was that about?
it's just like, why are there ghost people?
Is the whole town built on a burial ground?
apparently I don't know.
They mention like Native Americans at one point
yeah, so
early on, and then it never comes back.
So
I bet that's more in the book.
there's a prequel movie
Oh, I
called
didn't. Yeah.
Bloodlines.
Oh.
I talked with the director about it. I had to keep my thoughts out of it. Just ask her about her process. It's not good.
Yeah. I was when I saw it when I looked it up. I was like, how am I going to watch Pet Sematary? I was like, I don't remember this existing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Horror has gotten much better in the last 20 years.
Oh, 100%.
And because I'm not a horror person at all, it's scary. And
It's scary.
it's too scary for me. But like I watch like my girlfriend kind of curates what I'll watch. She's like, I think you could handle this.
Okay.
So like the house on the hill ones, and like
Yeah.
what was the one with the robot, little girl robot?
Megan,
That was good.
Abigail,
That was
very
good.
fun. You should
And
watch
then
Abigail.
Pearl,
Pearl. Okay,
Mia Goth,
dude, amazing.
maybe one of the best actors in the world.
She's fucking amazing.
Like if she's not married to LaBeouf, she gets an Academy Award.
Huh.
Like it's
Yeah.
she fucking demolished that role.
She murdered it. Yeah.
Like insane. That was one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, you're a star forever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, horror movies are so much better now.
Yeah.
Because it is a really stable genre in film.
Yeah, it's like it's always gonna be here.
Yeah,
It's just it evolves. Like it there's like vampire movies right now are on the rise, and that's
Oh,
also
really?
it's interesting. I think it's like politically
Mm.
sometimes when there's not as much hope. There's like we go to like zombies
Yeah.
and like that stuff.
I'm
and
a
then-
tired tired of post-apocalyptic
so
stuff.
that's like because of like the,
I tried to watch
Trump
that
and, like,
new
all
show.
that stuff. Like
I mean,
but like right now, like it was like happier times, so like we're like more vampires, like the romantic.
I feel like we're
that
5
stuff.
years from nuclear weapons being used.
Promise?
Fingies crossed.
Promise?
Yeah.
Promise?
I don't know if we're in the right place to catch it though.
Yeah. Darn.
I remember San Diego would get it because they have all those military bases. But yeah, I'm a little over the post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah.
Zombies don't really do it for me that much. They're a little too gross. I don't love gross.
Okay, fair.
Like I love a quick bit of gross and then get me out of there. Go back to
You're
know.
like, I want, So
yeah, that's what I loved about Pearl and the little baby robot.
Little baby robot. So what you're saying is you would not bring back one of your dead animals.
No,
or
I would.
you? You would? Oh, you would.
No, I would definitely take my dog to the Pet Sematary and hope for the best because it's already dead. I already killed it once, so why don't I have to kill it again?
Wait, you already killed it?
Well, I put it to sleep probably.
Okay.
And then I take it to the Look, Martha, Martha, the Ritz lady, the lifestyle lady.
Martha Stewart?
Martha Stewart cloned one of her dogs. She paid to have it cloned.
Yeah.
I would do that.
My dad did that.
Did he? $7,000?
So he basically.
By the way, I get it.
My dog died in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
She was 16 years old.
God
like
bless.
a beautiful golden retriever, right? Beautiful bow, lover, R.I.P. Queen. So my dad found her mom, her mom's eggs, and her dad's sperm.
Oh wow!
And has it? I don't know if that's clone. I don't know. Has it saved?
Oh, that's just in vitro.
That's just psychotic.
Yeah, that's just like well, he's got to put it into a host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But saving it. And then he's like, we're going to have one of Bo's siblings. I'm like, it's going to be a mutant. It's not going to be Bo. No one's going to be Bo. It's going to be a terror.
Also,
and it's not going to be Bo.
The one thing I will say is all golden retrievers are the same. That's why we love them. Their
Yeah.
personality is consistent across the board.
Well-
A lot of them pop up on my TikTok.
Yeah.
They are all the same. They all do the same things. They're all the same kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like they're all That's why we love them.
I will say I have seen some ugly ones.
No, you haven't.
I have.
No, you haven't.
I'm like, that one's cute, but like it's not.
No,
like,
you haven't. No, you spent no. You've just seen too many. But there's no real such thing as an ugly golden retriever.
You have ones that have like screwed up eyes where you're like, I don't want that one.
Cuter.
Okay.
So
fair.
what? It's on its way to looking like a pug. Here's more of my money.
I don't like pugs.
You don't like pugs?
They freak me out.
It's like little dog Yoda. Oh, the breathing is a bummer. Don't get me wrong.
The breathing is
It
unfortunate.
is a breed that clearly an inbred nightmare,
Yeah.
but they're so cute.
They're adorable.
They're great.
They're adorable.
Smash faces.
So you are bringing your dog back. You
For
are
sure.
bringing. Okay.
I don't bring the baby back.
You're not bringing the baby back, but
Too
so
hard to explain.
you die.
Yeah.
Do you want them to bring you back?
No. No, I have a joke about this right now. Like that's why I don't believe in ghosts because I don't want to die and still have things to do. Like when it's over, if I come back, hire an exorcist.
Yeah.
Like it's a wrap. I want to go to the next thing. I don't want to come back.
Yeah.
I would only want to be reincarnated if it's a time travel situation in the past.
Ooh.
I don't want to come back now.
Yeah.
I also don't want to come back in the future even if it's better.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want to live in techie land.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with less of that. I hope for less of that. When they're like, the Chinese are going to take down the grid, I'm like, okay. They're like, they're going to fucking take down the internet grid. I'm like, that's fine. We'd all be fine.
TikTok is sad though, but we get it.
It's all sad. It all makes me sad.
It'll be fine.
It makes me so sad.
It'll be fine, but like it's sad. I like TikTok.
There'll be something to replace it.
Yeah, in like
This would be our first thing taken away from us. We have social media apps have died. We
Yeah.
haven't had one like taken away. Everyone will freak out for 3 weeks.
Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird.
It wasn't taken away. It just sucks.
Remember, people would sell their phones for like hundreds of thousands of dollars because it had Flappy Bird on it.
Yeah.
And I deleted it off of everything immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, you're stupid. Keep it on there. Keep it on.
Man, it's all, there's no going back. It's just how the way the world is.
You know?
In 10 years, it's going to be like, I miss regular social media. I don't like that it lives in my eye. Like, that's where we're going.
I hate that.
I just remember in the early 2000s, people were so into the internet, they were getting tattoos of the Apple logo.
Okay, that's excessive.
Those people are still alive. I saw lots of them.
You're
people
like,
were
I'm one of them. I have a tramp stamp of it.
Yeah, if you want this ass, you're going to see the Apple logo. But people had them all the time. Can you imagine how that feels now?
Embarrassing.
Weird.
They should not go out into public.
Yeah, you got to figure there's a lot of redoing of those. I remember I saw a guy with like multiple ones. He had like the evolution of the Apple logo and the rainbow, the black one. Like people were so into the iPhone and all of it. People were you have no idea how
That's ridiculous.
iPod and all that. People were hyped on Apple products.
That's so fucking weird.
Getting tattoos and shit.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I love when her eye just pusses all over him and he's still Dad clearly snaps.
Yeah,
they could have sold that a little more.
I love you. He's like, I just love you so much. And then the wife grabs a knife and stabs him, and that's the end. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I loved it. That to me is a nice ending.
It is, but it's also like, you didn't learn anything.
Well, there's no one left. Who cares?
That's crazy. The fact that he's like, let me burn the house, but burn the kid.
You know what?
But not burn my wife.
You know what's a good? They told us that there was no going back with that red hat. Because the red hat is post-dead cat. I think. Like, clearly this guy's lost his marbles.
Also, the mom's still out there.
Oh, yeah. She's still alive in that town.
She's still alive.
That's the sequel.
That's the sequel. The mom running a rampage.
Well, that cemetery's so far away. It's such a fucking walk.
I mean...
It takes them forever.
Yeah.
So she could be cruising around. I don't know that anyone would find her. Again, I don't think there's a lot of authority in the area.
Yeah.
Because no one's building a fence. There's not a decent stop sign. No signals.
Nothing.
The biggest problem in this entire town is the trucks.
Yeah.
And they kind of try to sell us that in the beginning by naming. It's like, oh, those Avila trucks always coming through. It's like one company that's doing it. You can't get one signal?
Like a stop sign. Hey, slow down. There are children. One of those signs, just children at play. Children with 2-year-old with a large kite.
Hey, diaper. Yeah, kite.
Which also, the kite's gonna carry the kid away.
Does the kid have pants on at that point?
I think he's wearing overalls, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God someone put that slutty baby in an outfit finally. Jeez.
Slutty baby.
At some point I wrote down if he didn't get hit by a truck, Lyme disease was going to kill him. Because you're in New England and no clothes. That kid's going to have what he thinks is mono. He's going to have Lyme disease. His entire, stunted.
Yeah.
Like, that kid's brain probably would have rotted from the ticks.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm going to say these are pretty shitty parents.
I was going to ask that too. I'm like, are these good parents? They seem like they're pretty bad.
Very 80s parents.
Like, they don't give a shit about their older daughter running around.
These were cocaine heads.
Yeah, 100%.
Her hair says cocaine, and her outfits too.
He screams. He's like, I'm too cool for school. But yeah, I'd hit it.
Also, if the dad isn't into his daughter marrying a doctor, they're money. Like, they come from real money. So she did lots of cocaine.
Oh yeah.
She's like a coked up debutante.
Oh, 100%.
And he looks like he does tons of blow. That hairstyle and stuff. I feel like most doctors have efficient hairstyles, and he has a real sexy bouffant. Like, he has kind of cool hair. Yeah. For the time.
He has salad hair.
Yeah, why again? Why did he have to leave Chicago? I might read the book.
I
want to know why the dad hates him. I was never good enough for him. Like,
for why?
Yeah, beautiful doctor. She's super.
You're good enough for me. Take me instead. I will.
Whenever a father has that not good enough thing, it just makes me feel a little gross, a little icky. Okay. Like, why do you think she's that cool? Like, she's not a doctor.
What does she even do?
Although she has doctor hair. She looks like she's an investment banker. Okay. Maybe they had to leave Chicago because she got busted for embezzlement.
Maybe.
I should have looked up her, because I'm almost positive she was on Melrose Place. That was a good show. Get into that. That's the next podcast.
That's next. It's just on.
See if Fangoria will buy into a Melrose Place based.
I think it'd be pretty good. I think they'll be like, you know what? Yes, all of this. So Gage is coming at you.
Yeah.
He's in your house. He's fucking with your miniatures.
Little bastard.
He's got his little knife. He's like, I want to play with you. What are you gonna do?
I kill him pretty easy. I don't hesitate if you're trying to kill me.
How are you gonna kill him?
I would grab hold of his feet and I'd swing him around and just throw him against the walls. I was like a turkey.
Like a turkey?
Yeah, I
That's
would.
what you do with turkeys?
Yeah, I don't know how to carve it, so I just throw it against the wall and let it explode. After
You're
once
like,
you've cooked
you're like,
it.
pick up the pieces.
Yeah,
Everybody
once
dig
it's-
in.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Once it's been in the oven a long time,
Yeah.
the tendons have been softened, so
You
you
can
can just throw it
Got it,
against a
okay,
wall,
cool,
and it
cool.
kind of carves itself.
Okay, got it. Okay.
That's how I do it at my
Okay,
house.
Got it.
Yeah, so I
Oh my
grab
God.
little Gage by his little Oshkosh legs.
Gosh, yeah.
I whip him around. I throw him against the wall as hard as I can. Now, if his head doesn't explode, which, by the way, I don't think that would stop him.
No, it
But I
totally
think if I throw him far enough, it gives me time to find a weapon. Because it's apparently you got to cut this kid up.
You gotta get this.
You got to cut him up and keep it, but then you got to bury him in parts far away because
They're gonna
this-
find each other. 'cause
this local voodoo apparently
this
makes.
the soil is just it's not good soil. and
If
it's
you
just
break
gonna-
Gage up into many parts, you feel like you'd see the limbs like,
Yeah,
or like moving. You know, like I don't know. I've seen that in a movie for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Nightmare Before Christmas, but like you know, he makes his way
Yeah.
back to his other limbs. So I got to break him apart so that I can burn him. But yeah, I burn him pretty quick. I don't have a lot. He's not my kid.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
is he
like,
my kid? Is in this scenario? Is he my
yeah,
kid?
Yes, he's your kid.
Fuck.
You decided that your kid is gonna be named.
He has
Gage.
another kid.
He's
He has
gonna-
a daughter
I'm like, you have another one. You
who
know,
seems great.
They don't even care. They're like, after Gage dies, they're like, I don't care about the other kid. I'm like, hey, you have a child who's going through trauma just as much as you guys are.
Yeah.
Even though it is the dad's fault
Oof.
that you were like, I'm gonna run, Gage, run after the kite.
They're both
Into-
shitty ass parents.
They're shitty. They're put that kid on a leash. I've never been one to be like, hey, put children on a leash, but this kid would have.
I would
love. For a leash.
I would love to ask Stephen King, like, was this inspired by you just seeing yuppies who didn't care about their kids in the 80s? I wonder.
Probably.
Or was it just about pets? Because again, the pet part makes sense, and the kid part doesn't.
Yeah.
You can't get away with the kid part. You can get
Yeah.
away with the pet part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I would want to bring a pet back, I think it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay, guys.
It's
it's
okay.
okay.
It's okay.
As much as I wanted to clone all my pets, like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Get a new little buddy.
Everyone has a different personality.
How would you kill Gage? Flamethrower.
Flamethrower would be good. Honestly, I probably would punt him first, get a good swift kick to the head.
Yeah.
And then see how far he would go. And then I probably honestly would get like a bat of some sort and
Yeah,
just
a
like
bat is really useful
like
to
a
hit
beat him.
Gage.
because I feel like also or if you had a putter or like a driver.
Oh, a golf club works
and then
really
just, but actually, something comical. Also, I feel like he could die in a funny way, where you knock his head off and it goes flying. You
good.
know,
If you if you
we're
hit
talking about killing kids here.
if you hit a 3-year-old hard enough with a aluminum bat, I feel like the head would pop off, but I don't know.
Okay, I don't think I have that type of strength in me, but
Again, they're little. They can't even like their tendons are so loose. That's a new spine. You know what I mean?
that's a new fresh spine.
That's a fresh spine
that's a fresh
with all its cartilage. So is it stronger or weaker?
This is true.
Yeah.
You're making some valid points here.
I think honestly, an athlete, a baseball player.
Yeah,
That head's going the distance.
going the distance.
But I think an average human would just dislodge the head.
Oh yes.
But it would still your skin's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I think so that it would just hang off.
Yeah, and then you'd have to really rip it off.
Yeah, then you got to go
punt it,
get your
and then you punt it.
scalpel
Yeah.
and do the
Yeah.
work.
So, any other final thoughts before we
It's a great
wrap
movie.
up? Yeah.
Like as much as we're nitpicking, it's
yeah, for
still
sure.
like great.
Yeah.
And I love and I love movies that are I love the small town thing.
Yeah.
That used to be much more of a thing. Now every movie looks like it takes place just outside Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone has the same beautiful house, but like I miss that kind of New England old the small town horror thing.
Yeah.
Because to me it makes more sense. You're like, oh, there's a legend here, and
Yeah.
there's not enough authorities to do anything about
Yeah.
it. Whereas now when they take place in cities, you're like, why don't you just call the FBI?
Yeah. So I had that thought too because I'm writing a horror film right now.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, I'll have it take place in buttfuck nowhere, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Small town. And everyone's like, well, the cops aren't on the case. And if it was a big murder in a small town, The cops are going to be there. They're going to be on the case. But if it takes place in a big city, murders happen all the time. Like, I didn't know this, but apparently, like 3 blocks from my apartment, a woman was found decapitated in the dumpster and had no idea.
Wait a minute. Was this the son of the agent that killed his wife?
Like, this has been like in the past like couple weeks.
Oh, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
What neighborhood is this?
Van Nuys.
Yeah, that's some Van Nuys shit right there.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, what?" But I didn't hear about it, so I'm like, "That's I'm like that's a perfect place for a horror movie where the cops don't care. There's so much going on, the people have to take it upon themselves."
I mean, there's sadly there's a socioeconomic reality to who they care about and who they don't. And if no one's looking for them, they're just like, well, those are slow cases.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It is about like, please find my daughter, not like, hey, who's this lady? I mean, I had a friend who was a cop. Or is a cop, and he's like, oh, we find nameless dead Russians all the time. With no ID, we'll never know who they are. We'll never know who killed them. Because you don't even find the whole body. You find either a head, you find a body. Like, it's, a lot of people get murdered. It's, in that crime world, there's a lot of murders that they're just like, we're never solving this. Because no one wants us to solve it, and this person was doing things anyways. This was like a crime situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I love a small. I
love small town murder.
I hope you keep it in a small town.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know. I just like townies. That I like the local weirdo.
Yeah. Local
That's
weirdo's the
you can
best.
get like again the creepy lady who hangs herself was never heard from again. Okay. It's just this beautiful non sequitur suicide.
I do have to say, like the final battle between the dad and Gage. Gage as a 2-year-old again. 3-year-old, however the fuck old he is.
He's probably 2.
2.5. He rigged the house.
Mm-hmm.
He hung up this woman's body on the noose.
Yeah.
And like Home Alone did
to
drop down.
Yeah, he Kevin McAllister that whole place.
Time. Again, he's 2 years old.
Apparently, you absorb all the knowledge of everyone else that's been buried in that
but not
place.
the strength. What? How is he? How's he dragging this woman?
Yeah.
How is he? Also, when does he have the time to do this?
He'd have to run the rope through many pulleys to gain to get the leverage to do it.
Yeah, because it would just take him up. I don't the lot, which is again that's fine, but like I just was like, how is he doing this?
80s horror, you could call these holes, but like it didn't really matter. We were all just like scary movie.
We're like baby.
The internet did kind of ruin the suspense of disbelief a little.
Sure,
and I kind of like that you're like, wait, what now? Like, you're kind of like, so the baby's super strong? Nah, it doesn't matter. There's, again, that's what I like about Stephen King's horror movies. There is a youthful, childlike kind of inspiration that then he wraps his big brain around.
Yeah.
But in there, it's the same as Home Alone. Kid gets left behind, he's stuck in his house, he has to fight crime.
Yeah.
That's a very simple, that's like a fun kid idea.
Yeah.
That then John Hughes wrapped a great movie around. But there's something I like about Stephen King that way. I think that's why he's so productive.
Perfect.
Because he's just like, that's a funny idea. And he just churns it out, and it makes it super fun.
And they say, hey, let me just take a little needle, shove it in the kid's neck.
Yeah, why is that effective?
He screams and then goes,
not fair.
Not fair. Not fair.
So cute.
And so cute, but he's just like, not fair. Not fair. And
that part is great.
So, and then he like falls and then like he like glares at him and then like dies. I'm like, what?
Again, that's not CGI, man. That kid nailed that performance.
Good.
That not fair scene, that not fair part is adorable, heartbreaking,
and horrifying.
And you're like, why'd you kill him? After he's trying to murder you, you're like, I'll throw this kid through a window. And then he's like, not fair. You're like, hey, leave the kid alone.
You're like, let him, give him the knife.
That isn't fair.
Give him the knife back.
Yeah.
Give it back to him.
What's fair in that moment? But yeah, you're like, dude, not fair.
You're right.
Asshole.
Fair.
Like, you're kind of glad that the husband dies.
You know what? Honestly, I'm glad everyone dies. They were all stupid. They all deserve to die.
Yeah. It's only 2 houses. It's 2 households died. Big deal.
Only 2. Well, as far as we know, because then,
where's
the mom's
She's still alive.
She's still alive. She's still out there. She has a great life. She remarried.
But also, no, I mean, also the actress is still alive.
Oh, that's
I bet you she would be down for that. You should write that reboot.
From the now? But it takes place now. But
2024. She's the age she is now. She's a live zombie. You clean her up.
Yeah, a little bit.
She
She's
found
got-
another eye, or you
yeah.
give her an eye patch, and they for what 44 years now? No,
Yeah.
1989, 10, 20, 34 years. They just cannot kill this lady zombie. God, I hope she. Wait a minute. She was on Star Trek.
Was she?
She's Star Trek Next Generation, I believe.
Oh my God.
She's like, I think she's actually. No, I know this. She's like a hugely important Star Trek person.
Okay.
I think she was a captain or some shit.
Okay.
She's around. Come on.
She's down.
We're ready.
Let's do this. Dude,
The Pet Sematary lady.
let's freaking go. Pet Sematary 3, The Return of the Bob.
That lady.
The hair. She has a
She
bob
has the
now.
same hair.
She has a bob.
No, you can't. If you change your hair, I'm off board. You have to keep her hair. It's very iconic hair. This is, dude.
She managed to maintain it.
Yeah.
The zombie, she's like,
It's
I gotta make
it's
sure
just
she
got a little gray in it.
She goes to a zombie.
She gets it done. It's a zombie hair salon.
That's a whole different movie. It's just zombies, but it's like them.
This is the movie. When you finish this this first script, please. Everyone would say yes.
Yes. it'd be
Stephen
brilliant.
King says yes. He's like on it. You're like, so it's her. She's still alive. She's been terrorizing the town for 3 years. He'd be like, yeah, go ahead. I don't
He's
care.
like, hey, this fucking
Here's the rights. Who
ridiculous.
gives a shit?
I don't
This
care.
sounds ridiculous. I want to see it.
Let's freaking go. Let's make it as weird
Oh,
as possible.
It felt. My first thought when the movie started, I was like, oh, Beetlejuice Town.
Yeah.
So like maybe Beetlejuice.
Also, really thankful that the credit song was Pet Sematary.
Well, do you think they did that for the movie?
No, I think the song came before the movie.
Okay.
But they it's only 2 songs and one of them is Pet Sematary, which
It's
makes me
in
happy.
they use a Ramones song. I think the Ramones is playing in the guy's truck when he hits the kid.
Yeah.
And you're like, give him a break. It's the Ramones didn't do this. It's not like, oh, this guy likes punk rock. That's
The
why he's not
Ramones
paying attention to the road.
The Ramones nerd.
Oh, you know what's weird is she just gets in a truck.
Yep.
When she needs to hitchhike.
Yep.
No trauma.
Yep.
No nothing. It's like, hey, you guy.
I'm gonna get in. Yep.
That's how it's safe it is for white people in New England.
We love that. We love that. And oh no, where to go? Thought gone. It's gone. It flew away. It flew away just like the kid did in front of the car. It's
There's
gone.
no way he's not.
freaking gone.
There's no way he doesn't turn to Joe.
Oh, Pet Sematary. It's Pet Sematary with an S. Did you realize that?
No.
Is that? I don't know. I don't know why that is, but it's really annoying.
Whoa, they spell it S-E? Are you kidding me? How did I not? Things I don't notice. I mean, when I searched it, I'd spelled it right.
Yeah, but then it's Pet Sematary with an S.
Whoa.
Yeah, right?
What's that about?
I don't know. It's weird.
I think I'm going to read the book.
Yeah, I think I need to too.
I'll come back.
We'll come back. We'll come back and we'll talk about the book.
I'll have like 30 pages of notes. So on page 8.
On page 8, let me just.
But yeah,
flip it
Pet
over.
Sematary rips.
So, out of 10, what do you think?
I mean, because I've seen so little horror, to me it's a 10 because I remember it so vividly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, Pet Sematary is terrible. We didn't even talk about the scary sister with the spine
Scary Sister
who
with the Spine,
grossed out America.
which also that was actually a man.
It looked like a man.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, that's probably a
Yeah,
man.
it's a man.
Yeah. But yeah, spinal meningitis, gross.
Ugh.
Kill me. If I'm just like, kill me.
Yeah.
Or I just load me up on so many painkillers I don't know where I am all the time.
That too. Or
But yeah, kill me.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
look gross.
It seemed like she maybe killed her sister and this was just karmic revenge.
Yeah.
Like she's like, oh, she died, and you're like, hey, you're
Not
pretty,
sure.
but you're really into telling us how happy you were when she died,
Yeah, it's a little weird.
which I get that. I understand.
Mm.
We've all
We've all been there. We've all had
watching
that
someone rot is not the raddest. I can tell you.
I've had that with family members
Yeah,
where I'm
watching
like, you know
people
what?
rot.
I'm sad that they're gone, but I'm also like
They
I'm
were
glad that
bummed.
they were not themselves.
They
and
were
it's-
bummed.
That was not. Very
But no,
sad.
this is a 10. Pet Sematary is a 10.
10. Amazing.
Yeah, it goes into the like, yeah, that movie shreds.
It's fun. It's so fun.
It's so fun.
I think I originally gave it a 7, and I'm like, I'm sticking with my 7. I like it was solid. It was solid.
I mean, you see a lot of horror.
well, it's also like how people rate is so different, and I like it's whatever you feel.
I mean, it is that kind of thing where like it's like in stand-up where we used to call it your 80s pass.
Yeah.
A lot of the stand-ups we're told to admire, we're getting away with some real murder in the 80s.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And it's the kind of same thing. You're like, yeah, in this time, this was amazing.
Oh,
Horror's gotten
100%.
insanely
Oh yeah.
detailed and amazing since then. But I do wish there was like I hope there's still like a subgenre of like campy horror.
Oh, there is,
This
yeah.
falls into camp. This is like right outside of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, but also like I say anything over 5 is good.
Yeah.
Anything over 5 is I'll rewatch. Like,
Fully.
and it's just the fact that like nothing happens till like 40 minutes in is crazy. Or
Movies,
an hour.
Movies, that's what you, when I watch 80s movies, you realize how much less dialogue there was.
It's crazy.
There's so much, not slow, but there's so much less just things happen. It's just a slower situation.
So were you afraidy or not afraidy of Pet Sematary?
I was afraid.
You're afraid.
It's a scary ass movie. And there are parts of it, like, I'm glad I watched it during the day. Because the sister's terrifying and Achilles' mouth cut. Whoa.
Too much. Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not too much. Because
like,
it needs to be a horror movie.
We want more.
But
yeah.
also, like, it's a kind of violence where you're like, oh, God. Like dude,
that
come on.
Hurts.
Like, only the back of the, like, I just thought, like, maybe the back of the knees is just fucking bad.
Get away.
Ugh, that
Get
corner.
away.
Once, if you cut the corner of my mouth, you better murder me because I don't want to live like that.
You don't want to do that
Stitch
anymore.
him up?
Nope. Done.
Yeah.
Nope.
He basically jokered him.
There's so many moments that like stick with you in this movie that like even I've seen it maybe twice before this, like, but long time ago. And the fact that I'm still like, I want to play with you. It has
It's
so
a
many
movie
memorable
of
moments.
moments where you're like, why does this happen? Because you just remember the like no fair. You remember the cut.
You
remember
the
the
Achilles,
cat.
You remember
you remember those parts. Oh.
But it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I love it.
And honestly, Herman Munster, that actor, what a career. My Cousin Vinny.
Fantastic.
This movie, he's that guy. He shreds.
It's amazing.
He's pretty. Yeah, he had a great one.
He deserved the world.
Yeah, I bet he got. I bet he got the highest paycheck in that movie. He was probably paid the most. I would hope, because you need being a creepy townie. Maybe is like
It's
the
really
future
important.
of my career.
It's really important. Honestly,
He's like, don't go in there. You just need like the right beard.
What are you doing over
Yeah,
there?
hunch,
I
yeah.
don't go there, kids.
You need your mouth to pull down.
Yeah.
Your mouth has to pull down.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that'll be my future.
That's pretty good. I like that for you.
Couple days work.
I love that for you.
You show up. Don't go in there, and then you're back on a plane.
They're like, dude, that was fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all you can do. You're already tired.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Same.
No, Pet Sematary would recommend.
Would recommend 12 out of 10. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for being
My
on.
pleasure.
This is the time where you plug your stuff.
I just had an art show, but it's down. So you can, if you want to buy the paintings that didn't sell, you can contact the gallery, the Whole Gallery at the Whole NYC. My Instagram is at Kevin G Christy. I just archived most of it, so there's a few paintings you can look at. I'm always at the Comedy Store, telling jokes, and but yeah, it was nice to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that you agreed to do this.
Yeah, anytime.
It was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. And thank you to our sponsor, Filmcraft Studio Gear. You can find them at Filmcraft LA on Instagram or filmcraftla.com. Also, thank you to Fangoria. We love you. Want a copy? Use code Katie Afraidy 25 to get 25% off. And I like to end every episode with some shitty or good advice regarding the movie. So if you feel something, is calling to you.
Sometimes dead is better.
Yeah, I think that's honestly
That's the
advice.
It's great advice.
But
it is truly great
advice. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes dead is better, guys. Like there's if just let her go. Look, I get it's your kid. I don't have kids, but I imagine they're important to people. But let her go. Move on.
It's done. Get him out of here. We're done.
And also, there's no way that kid would have been able, as we've established, that's Lego pieces everywhere.
Doesn't make any sense. Logic doesn't make any sense, but we love it. And we love you guys. Again, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Follow us on Katie Afraidy on all social media platforms, on YouTube. We also have a Patreon. What? You want extended episodes? Go to the Patreon. And yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you next time, and stay spooky.
Bye.
Paramount Pictures presents Stephen King's all-time best-selling tale of horror, Pet Sematary.